Hey everyone, Link here. So, Man on the Moon and I are going to be putting together some videos separately together, I guess. So we're both going to be competing in WOC, or trying to at least. Both of our factions are in 1A regions, and I'm hoping that our regions will end up matching a lot because it would be fun to kind of do a series between the two of us, just to kind of showcase our different styles of play. And I don't know, I think it would be a fun thing to do. So you'll get to see a lot of attacks between the two of us, and you guys can hopefully learn something from each of us just based on the different types of teams that we use. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more content and information. So what I've been finding in war, because I mentioned this in another video actually, the 30% blue attack tower is huge. And even though I don't have it at the moment, I just got team player on my Mercer, and I have a team player ability on my Glen. So that just gives me a huge advantage, I find, especially in war right now, because I have that plus 35 crit chance on both of them, and they're both applying to Priya. And then there's also 15% attack coming from those two as well. So although I'm missing out on an attack lead, I'm making up for it with the weapon effects. Now keep in mind, in this video, I'm still getting used to my Dr. Stevens. I've never had one before, so it's been really interesting trying to use this type of team. And this match, already mistakes were made in it. I should have attacked the command Nick right away, and because I didn't, I'm kind of in a stuck position, and I have to take some risks. And as you see, the risks didn't really pan out. Surprisingly, the Priya on defense wasn't strong enough to take out my Dr. Stevens right away, even though he's not really modded like perfectly or anything like that, and his weapon is still a basic weapon, so I haven't been able to change anything. So I just got really lucky. I'm not exactly sure how I was able to survive, but I'm definitely not complaining. So a lot of these teams that I'm fighting right now are pretty standard. Whenever I see a Pete lead, I know I can basically use this general type of attack team. I'll sometimes use Sadiq instead, just because of a confused active skill. I know I really need to work on remodding some of my characters, because since getting Dr. Stevens, now there's a lot more unnatural AP gains, so I need to prepare for that. So that means like exhaust or maim resist for my team, just so that I don't end up killing myself just because I use an active skill, or because Dr. Stevens taunts someone into him and he gives AP away. As you see, running Mercer as a lead is giving me a huge advantage against a lot of these teams, just because I'm having a couple characters stunned at the start, which gives me a whole turn to kind of set myself up. Whenever I'm able to normalize a commander, I get pretty excited, just because the commander now can't command other toons. And this has happened to me where I'm an attacker and I try to use a normalized command toon and just end up defending and kind of just waste the turn away. This defensive team that I'm fighting right now is actually pretty tricky. I'm lucky that I have stuns that are working to start, just because there's two main damage dealers. There's Dr. Stevens and a command, so there is a lot of control as well as power. We have Aaron on this team who gives HP and defense. So this team could actually be really tricky. I'm used to seeing Aaron's with a lot of heavy defensive toons behind it, so seeing some offensive toons is a little different and strange to me, but it's something I do need to prepare for, especially moving forward with the first WOC qualifier happening this coming weekend. Right now, I can definitely say Aaron is one of the tankiest defensive characters I've seen, and one of the annoying things with his weapon when it's his normal weapon is giving that bonus HP to other teammates when he's attacked. So I'm finally getting to Moon's team. I should have changed teams. I don't know why I ended up running this team against Angel. Again, I'm kind of still getting used to the fact that Dr. Stevens gives so much unnatural AP, and I'm really kind of neutering myself by running Dr. Stevens against an Angel team. I just wasn't prepared for it, and that's really my own fault. I'm pretty sure I end up actually losing to Moon in this one, and his Henyon hits really hard. So it's a good team. I think this is his almost identical attack team, except he runs a different leader, which is pretty interesting. I like Dayu a lot. I think you guys have noticed I've been trying to focus to get her in some of my recent videos. I actually just pulled my second 5-star one last night, so I'm planning on getting those two up and running actually on maybe a bleed infection team. So hopefully that's going to come together, and you guys might be able to see that in a coming soon video. So I had 5 wins and 1 loss there. The 1 loss to Moon, and now we're back at the start and attacking at the very beginning. And it's pretty interesting when you go back and attack players like a second time. I find it interesting because they don't pan out the same way. There is so much RNG and so many little things that change during a war, from match to match, from tune to tune, from mod to mod, and all the randomness is actually pretty exciting to me, because it means you really have to be focused and you have to be ready to adjust to whatever happens. Like right here, in this case, we had Priya rushing on the first turn instead of her not rushing the last time. I'm not exactly sure what changed. My guess is that when I attacked, I must have gave her some AP. But in this case, as soon as I realized I wasn't going to win the match, I fled, because there's no point in wasting time when you could be getting points in another match. As you saw just before this, I am very low on HP, but because this is a match versus Moon, I'm definitely going to end up coining, which is honestly something I hardly do. But because Moon and I are facing off, I think it would be fun to kind of show you guys like a real match between us. It actually makes me really excited moving forward to be playing against like other YouTubers and stuff, and kind of showing the two sides to the story, the two different styles of play, and kind of like from different perspectives. So let me know in the comment section below if you guys think this would kind of be like a fun series to do. Again, it will be very dependent on what the matches and matchmaking are. So let's just hope that the Long region and Stevens region end up matching up a lot. I really should have focused on getting the tower back, the blue tower. I don't think we actually ever had it, but I feel like I should have focused on that before attacking the next the next person. Just having that tower is such a huge advantage. It makes attacking with tough tunes just easy as 1, 2, 3. The 30% bonus just gives you an incredible amount of power, and anyone with 1 Priya or 2 Priyas would have just been rampaging through everyone. Like, even without that tower, I can use my Priya against almost any defense. So I was just destroyed, but I'm definitely going to be coming back because, again, tight match. People are already coining back, so may as well try and enjoy the fun. I have no materials, so had to sell something just to have it, to start the rebuild, and I'm coining back right away. I sometimes suggest holding off on coining back immediately, just because if someone's attacking your team right now, then the damage will be done to your new HP. So if you actually wait, you have the chance to not be damaged right away by someone's continuous attack from when you were still alive. Now, I got pretty lucky again with this attack team. I had some stuns to start, and then I just have enough control leading off of that first and second turn now. Dr. Stevens has been a huge upgrade for me. My Princess is now maxed out as well. My Priya's maxed out, my Mercer's maxed out, my Glenn's maxed out. I just have a very strong team at the moment. There's still lots of work that needs to be done, and I'm looking forward to kind of building my team moving forward, because like I am definitely not like a pro player or anything like that. I'm a pretty noob-like player, to be honest, and I make a lot of mistakes. Like, even right now, I should have went after that blue tower. Instead, I'm performing another attack, so it's not like a bad idea. I just feel like I could have better spent my time, because the buff from the tower would have benefited my whole team, of course. My attack team that I'm using right now, I've been getting some solid use out of it. I've really found that Princess has made a huge upgrade to both my attack and my defense. Princess just has a lot of great aspects to her. She's like a whole package character, and because of the different abilities that she has, especially with controlling the enemy, I find her to be just spectacular. Right now I'm just going to fast forward through me taking a tower, or at least trying to. Again, I'm not exactly sure what's going through my head on why I'm not attacking that blue tower to at least take the advantage away from my enemies. But I can't really tell you what was running through my head when I was filming this. Probably just trying to save some cans as well, because it's going to really matter when it's WOC qualifiers and I need my cans in order to keep on playing. Like, this is just Blitz War. You're supposed to be stocking up on cans and stuff. In the end, I think I ended up being like plus 10 cans, which was great. But I fully expect myself by the end of the first qualifying war this weekend to be back down those 10 cans. But again, who knows? So in this attack, you saw that I ended up normalizing Payback Negan, and that just helps me out a lot because he can't reflect that damage back onto me. I just broke his active skill. The downside right here is that I'm going to trigger Slater because I wasn't able to kill him. Instead, I just charged his AP, and this is one of those reasons why I really want to get myself Raven, because with Raven, of course, I would be able to apply elusive so I wouldn't be giving AP away. I've triggered him again on Slater, and it's kind of just frustrating because I know I'm making mistakes and I just keep on making them. It doesn't help that with Slater's rush, he also gives focus to the whole team, which in turn brings Pete back into play because Pete can ignore the taunt, and I can't stun him right away. I need to hope that he gets stunned by my Mercer. I ended up trying a rush on Slater to try and take him out, and at this point, the match is just lost. So again, instead of focusing on that team, I just need to move on, keep on hitting in order to earn points where I can. I also have to add that ever since getting Dr. Stevens, my attacking team has become a lot smoother, and I've just been more effective and efficient at attacking, I feel. And a lot of that's just because I'm able to control what happens in the match a lot earlier. Having that ability to rush on the second turn, but also rush naturally, so not having to rely upon a command tune in order to rush a controlling tune or a damage dealer like how I usually would use Diego. So just having this ability to control earlier on is really effective. Like this Diego team is what I need to kind of use against teams that have Angel as a lead at the moment because I don't have a Daze Resist for my Dr. Stevens. So I'd rather play it safer instead of trying to run Dr. Stevens against a team that is almost the exact counter to him. Like I know I've mentioned before how Dr. Stevens and Angel are complete opposites, where Angel is almost specifically designed to take out Dr. Stevens, to take out Cam, Scar, to take out all these AP tunes. And as you see, the change that I made has made me a lot more successful. I still lost a tune, but overall I had a successful attack. In my opinion, one of the hardest things in a match is being able to make that change mid-match, because it is very difficult. It's challenging to make adjustments to your team, because if you're confident in your attack team, you're going to try and still use that attack team, even if it seems ridiculous, to be honest. This attack has been a bit different because different tunes were stunned. You saw one of my strategies when attacking a Mercer lead is to attack the command tune, because if I give that command tune enough AP to rush, they'll rush instead of commanding Dr. Stevens. If I attack that command tune enough, their AP also goes up, meaning Dr. Stevens might give them that extra AP instead of giving it to Arav or Mercer, Priya, Princess, a bunch of damage dealers. So understanding how to manipulate that is extremely important. Sometimes the best option against Mercer defense leads is to do nothing on the first turn, because if you end up attacking on the first turn, you could just end up charging someone's AP and allowing them to rush. So since we have a close match going on, and because I'm facing off against Moon, I've coined a second time, and I can probably count on, I won't say one hand, I'll say two hands, the number of times that I've coined twice in a match. So probably my least favorite part of the game is when I get booted out during a war attack, so now I'm trying to hustle to get back in because I want to get in my hits. I just coined, so obviously I have an investment in this match. I just sped through that. I actually put it at 2 times the speed. I actually got really frustrated when that happened during my video, but I decided to leave it in just to show you guys that it happens to everyone. It happens to me, and I get super annoyed by it, but there's only so much that we can control with this game. So now just kind of a question for my general curiosity to all of you guys. Who is your favorite attacking tune at the moment? Why are they your favorite attacking tune? Like, what are they doing for you that no other tune in your roster actually does? Like, I would have to say my current favorite tune is Princess, just because of how effective she is on both offense and defense. Her normalizability with the taunt is extremely valuable because she's able to buff herself from her Berserker as well as her special weapon. She applies a huge amount of control, And even if you have some defensive or HP mods on Princess, you can still be effective with her on attack because of those buffs. I think she is a complete game-changing toon, and although I love my Priya, I think my Priya is awesome, I think Princess just works for a lot more teams and is a lot more user-friendly, because Priya with Rampage can be very annoying to use because you can't always control it, and with the new changes to camouflage, her Rampage is also going to be a lot less effective. Now, I do think that my Dr. Stevens is also a very close second or third favorite toon at the moment, just because he's a new toon for me. He's definitely allowing me to attack faster and maybe helping me with defense a little bit. I'm not exactly sure yet, just because, again, I've only just recently put him on my defensive team just to get my defense rushing a bit faster. I'm thinking about making some other changes to my defense just because by being able to rush faster, it's not always an ideal situation. If anyone runs like a payback toon on attack and I have damage dealers on my defense team, I could end up just kind of nuking myself. So a toon I'm actually thinking of putting on defense is S-Class Steve. And Steve, as you know, was a toon specific to WOC. I think he's going to be a lot more relevant because his weapon is a bound weapon. He can get a double attack off, and on the second attack, it's like 400% damage. When he rushes, he applies 2,000 burn damage, which I think will come more into play because it's a high amount of damage, and a lot of offensive toons don't have high defense. I just think he's an interesting character, and with his active skill, he's going to become more useful. His active skill can recover some infection, which would be great against any type of Mateos that are being used on attack. When I think about it, I'm not exactly sure what other S-Class toons have a recover infection ability. I just think that Mateo is definitely going to be a character that once he's kind of fixed, because right now from what I've been told and what I've seen, he's a little bugged where his infection isn't actually working for some reason. I'm not exactly sure when a fix is going to come in for that, but when it does, I would like to have some sort of counter. Like, I feel like Princess on my defensive team is great because of her normalizability, power, and taunt control. I think Steve will work out because he can attack with basic attacks and deal a high amount of damage. And then when he rushes, he's not applying direct damage, meaning he's not going to trigger like those paybacks that are on those attack teams. He's not going to trigger bide. He's just able to apply this indirect damage that can, hopefully, fingers crossed, kill some attacking teams and toons. So anyway, kind of jumping back towards what I'm doing right now with my attacks, I think I've been fairly successful with attacking. Schmeardok on my Pink Unicorns team is an absolute beast, and I'm definitely going to ask him what he's been using because I want what he has. He's almost doubled my points, and I was, last I checked, in second points-wise, so definitely, as you know, like lots of room for improvement, and I'm really excited to keep on improving, and hopefully you guys can see that I'm getting better. I think one other thing that I've kind of noticed from how I've been attacking is that I rely heavily on Rampage, so as soon as that change is made in the game, I think I'm going to struggle a lot more and have to go through a whole team readjustment and realignment, because there is definitely going to be like a camouflage leader toon coming out that's going to be a defensive leader, and that's just going to create a lot of problems with fast rushing teams, because the reason why fast rushing teams work is that they hit multiple targets at once. Like, this defensive team is a fast rushing team where Arav could rush on the first turn, Priya could rush on the first turn, Mercer could rush on the first turn, so you need to control that in some way, shape, or form, or have a method of at least mitigating their effect. Like, my method is by using Rampage, but in the future, I don't expect to be able to do that. I'm going to have to bring in a lot more control-like toons in order to be effective. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to get off another attack. Everyone's either shielded, or I'm about to actually end up dying in this match. I'm not going to coin back again. As you see, it's been a really close match. We're within 600 points of each other, and in the end, the Pink Unicorns end up losing to All Jokers Elite. Overall, I'm kind of happy with how I did. 13,000 points is decent. It's not like the best I've ever done, it's not the worst I've ever done, but I'm still pretty happy with it. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching and listening to my video. Feel free to check out Moon's video to see his point of view of the match.